Hello everyone! Today I will show you my top 10 decks ever. Some of them I use every day. Some of them I barely use, but they still have a very special place in my heart. And I decided not to rate them from 1 to 10 or from 10 to 1 because it just seemed impossible to me. But there is one deck which always takes first place for many years now, more than 15 years, and this is Tarot of the 12 Rays. The owner of the school I studied at inspired the artist and controlled him so he can make everything correctly. This deck is based on the Papus system, but it went far from Papus. Now I see this as a very unique system which works very well. The deck is really old, I don't know, maybe 15 years, and I've been using it quite a lot for my tarot consultations and also for myself. If I want to know something from myself, there is almost the only deck I take for this. So yeah, it's Pipish. As you know, Papus is Pipish. It has very colorful major arcanas and personalities. I like this deck a lot. There is not much to show here. You can find the gallery of this deck at the school's official website. It's called in English Isis Gates School. I also have the smaller version of this deck. We also made a box for it with my husband together. So that's the box we created. I remember we spent the whole day to try to find the best option, best solution. I did those doodling after with the marker, but you know, now the box is also old, but it still works, so I don't change it. So it's just the same deck, just smaller and a bit thinner. The next deck I often use recently, Millennium Thought. This deck doesn't have any sacred geometry which the original deck has, but you know, it's really bright. It's also easier for me to see, to recognize major arcanas and queens and kings knights. So this is very colorful deck by Los Carabiao. It's really thicker than usual. It's glossy, and I didn't really think that I will like this style of art, but you know, when I work with this deck, it just makes everything clear for me. So I've been using it for like 1 or 2 months, and it's on my table always, and I just reach for it every time I want to practice tarot or I want to answer some question. So I like this deck. The third deck on my list is this. You see, it has even a button here. I made this from my husband's old pants pocket. So this deck, I've been owning this deck for many years now, more than the 12 Rays. This is my actually first deck. That's why it's very special. This is Röhrig Tarot by some Russian publisher. I don't have a box anymore, so I don't remember who printed it, but the quality was really awful, so I covered it with varnish. I also did edgings, and now it looks better than before. I'm sure you know this deck. Usually it has white borders, but I like this version with black, and I don't use it very often, although I might start doing this. It also has a blank card, which is black. This is a modern deck with modern drawings. I can't say I really like symbols on it, or I can't say I really like the style of this deck. But you know, it's very precious because that's my first deck ever. I started struggling with tarot and trying to understand how to read all of these. And now this is the deck I adore a lot. I kind of respect it even. I don't know why and what is special. This is Enel Gawat Tarot deck. I don't know who's the publisher. Okay, this is Dal Negro. This is a very big deck and I like it also. So if I show you in comparison with, for example, normal Thoth, standard Thoth, you see it's huge. The backs are like this. They are not reversive, so you can see if card is up or down. If you use reversals, it may be a problem. I do use reversals with this. I've been using this deck, and it has everything is in orange here, and it kind of has a Windows 2 cards, and I don't know, this deck is kind of very magical for me. It has a lot of symbolism I don't know about and a lot of things to research, but I've been using it like the 12 rays tarot, Papyrus tarot system, and it works just fine. But I really want to learn about all these symbols and all the things the creator of this deck wanted to show, wanted to explain. And when I'm holding this deck, I don't know, I feel something like, oh, I don't have enough words in English to explain my feeling. But, you know, it's just a very beautiful tarot deck with very beautiful windows into the cards. And although it's peepish, it's not a problem for me. And this deck definitely keeps its very special place in my heart. Very big place. This is kind of the blank card which I also use, and that's a wonderful blank card. So I see Jehovah and so on, and I use this card as like the God gives its energy to make me do something, you know, kind of like this. I really love this deck. It has also, you see, plain cards, symbols here, clubs and so on. The full card, the devil. That's a wonderful deck. I'm really happy I have it. One more deck I often use along with the 12 rays and Millennium Thoth is Surprise. This is the classical Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I told you that I've been learning tarot for many years. I've been using it, I'm giving consultations, and now I'm trying to learn English school, English tradition, which is Rider-Waite and Crowley's systems. So this deck has muted colors and I kind of like it, and it looks like old, you know, like, I don't know. I use this deck very often and I enjoy the quality of the deck. I can't say I'm a big fan of Pamela Colman-Smith images, or her symbolism, or how fast this deck was created by then. I also know that Waite created the other deck, very esoterical, very deep deck, which he created after this. So, you know, I don't show much respect to this system, if honestly. But I do use it and it works really good, usually for, oh sorry, you can't see it, but there is not much to see anyway. I use it for some material things, like tangible things, like to ask what will happen to me today, or how does this person sees the situation, you know, not for the deep readings. I know it's capable of very deep things, but I don't know, maybe I have a crown on my head, so that's why I look like from above to this system. But anyway, I still use it and I also like this deck. It will not be any surprise that I also use Crowley's tarot deck, and I like it much more than Rider-Waite deck. just because of the kind of peepish. We have major arcanas and we have minor. Okay, just more peepish minor arcanas, because not often I need like the distinct image, because situations in my life and in any other's life, they don't fit the exact image, you know. So it's hard for me sometimes to think wider than things I see. But with Crowley's deck, I don't have this trouble, because it just depicts energies, you know, not the situations, just the energies. And it's easier for me to understand the meaning of the card in each situation. I can also say about events, what's happening in each card. And yeah, that's a beautiful system. It has its character, as Crowley had, and I really like it. Also, I have a big one, a big deck of Aleister Crowley by US Game Systems. This one was by Los Carabio, and I often use them both. The next, my favorite one. I do use these decks. This is Fournier, the Tarot de Marseille, and I like that it has colored minor arcana, so each suit has different color, and the deck is small. I don't like small decks, but this one is good. It has really good quality, and I like the colors. I don't believe that colors in Marseille system mean anything, although I know a lot of people consider colors. But as for me, at that time when this deck was created, to use needed color, it was quite a problem. So normal Marseille deck uses like 3 colors, and that's it, just because it was hard to and maybe expensive to buy it, and you know, you understand what I mean. So I don't believe that colors in Marseille tarot system were deliberately used to be like that. So that's why I happily accept. So that's why I happily accept this deck, and this is one of my favorite Marseille tarot deck, and I use reversals with it also, because the bags allow it, and just a great deck. Pocket edition, easy to travel with, easy to do big spreads. Love it. Now the 8th one. This is the Gill Tarot. It's a kind of a mix of the English school, like mostly it's Kabbalah, but it's also Waite, it's also Crowley, and this deck is very special for me because it's also kind of peepish, but the major arcanas, they are just very, very good depicted. I just can't tell you how much I like the idea of these major arcanas in this deck. I also like numbers, these big, huge numbers this deck has on pips. It's kind of unusual, and it picks my attention every time. So you can see the Moon card, it's just beautiful major arcana, and the Fool card. And author actually explains a lot of things about this deck in a little white book, although it's really little in my version of the deck. I don't know, maybe the author has bigger book. I never tried to check it out. So this deck has some changed names on the minor arcana. The major, as I said, are my favorites. The Chariot, Ace of Wands. Oh, also court cards are great. Like you can understand the character of this person really easily. So Queen of Pentacles, Nurture. The beautiful King of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, sorry. I like also its colors, the contrast. Oh, the Strength card is also one of my favorites, and it has a lot of meanings. Like, can you see, for example, the woman here on the card wearing white dress? It doesn't have any shadow, and it looks like something from the other world. Sorry. You know, you can meditate on these major arcanas and find out a lot of things you haven't noticed before. Oh, look at this King of Swords. Isn't it beautiful? The lightnings, the power of mind, of the intuition, as it says here. I really love this deck. I've been using it a lot. I often use it also to practice on tarot forums or in my Telegram group, where I do sometimes, not very often because I work hard, so I don't have much time, but sometimes I do free tarot readings just to try a new spread or a new deck. The Death card. This is a wonderful deck. These are the packs. I forgot that I didn't show them. I love the quality also. It's kind of a bit paperish maybe, but it's covered with something, and it's quite thick actually, but not too much. It feels like sturdy something. I like it. So we are coming to the end of today's speech. But I have two more decks to show you, and one of them is Scapini Tarot. I have this deck also for many years, and I don't know why, but this deck is really special. I don't use it. I never used it because I always planned like I have to find all the small details, understand what they mean, and then only I can use it. Also, I know that Scapini, creating this deck, he wasn't much into tarot, so he didn't know what to depict on the cards, and this deck looks a lot like a Taylor system to me, but this is a very special one. I don't know what to say. It has some kind of like gilded something, but it's not gold. It's just an illusion of gold. This deck has a lot of funny spots and hidden secrets. I don't know. For example, here on the Tower card, you can see like traffic lights are falling from the tower somewhere. I can't see it. Ah, here, you see? I hope you see it. Sorry. And it has a lot of hidden secrets inside each card, and I still have a plan sometimes to see it and just to, you know, uncover all the secrets. This card is made by myself. It was an advertisement card, but I covered it with gold market, so I have a blank card now, because I don't like when something is depicted on my blank card, like advertising of other deck or some names. I want it to be without symbols or with good symbols, like it was in Enail Galat Tarot deck. I love this deck. This is A.G. Müller, and it has really good quality, and someday I will start using it. I know I will, just not today. And the last deck in my top 10 is actually not tarot, but Symbolon. This is a very wise and deep deck created by Peter Orban. He also has a great book explaining everything. Maybe you know it's based on astrology, and it's really good for psychological analysis of situation. Analysis? It was weird. Oh, whatever. It has like strong images on it. Like you can understand this is a mother, and she's caring, she's stronger than her baby, and she loves her baby, and she nurtures the baby. You know, it's like archetypes of things every human on this earth, on this planet, knows and understands, and it's really easy to read. But if you read the Peter Orban book, you can understand it much more deeper. Also, if you already know astrology, these signs will be very helpful to you. I know astrology, but you know, just at the beginning level, it's not my purpose to become an astrologist, because I don't have 7 more years in my life just to study something. So this astrology is a huge thing, a big thing. But on the basis, not on the basis, I know basic things about planets and science and things like that. I respect this deck a lot. It helped me in some difficult situations. For example, when I knew what I have to do or what I need to do, and I knew what's the reason, but I couldn't emotionally or psychologically handle it. So in these cases, I use this deck just to give some advice, or through these images, just to change something inside myself and then change something from the outside. So not a tarot, but a great system with great archetypes, easy to understand. A lot of people use this deck also for very practical readings, and I know it works well, but for me it's just like my personal therapist. And that's it for today. I struggled with my English again, because it's really difficult to speak the language I don't use, but it's really useful for me. So sorry again. I say sorry in every video I make through this channel. I hope you forgive me for my English and for mistakes I made. And see you next time.